Well, the latest improvement has been the projections. We're using 2 projectors to project scenes onto backdrops instead of the traditional hanging backdrop or black curtain. And it's really interesting because we've got about 120 projections that we're going to be using throughout the course of the show. Normally you'd see 3, maybe 4. So, and they're animated, they move, which is really neat.
One thought of the show that I think people should know about is just how much effort it takes to be able to put on a show like this, not only with the cast on stage rehearsing, but just the technology side of it, troubleshooting problems, making sure that it's in the right spot, the right time, making sure that you bring your lights up when you're supposed to, that people's mics are working.
There's a ton of mics, and plenty of them are live at any given point in the show, mostly the pit, which is all live with Orchestra as well. There's a few scenes where there's about 20 or so people all coming onto the stage at the same time that all have to be turned on and ready to go within seconds.
Well, what we do down here in the pit, I'm sure, is not done at pretty much any schools, where every player has a set of headphones on and they're able to hear themselves, they're able to hear each other in their heads, they can hear the singers on stage. If you came down here, you would have no idea what it really sounded like unless you were out there in front of the speakers. So it's pretty complex.
So this console was donated to us by Joe Murphy of Murphy Sound and Productions in Iowa City. It has 40 inputs on it, which is only a small portion of the full show. Each person in the orchestra pit can hear through headphones down here to hear all of the computer tracks, all of the microphones on stage, and we can have multiple mixes down here, so the clarinet players can hear all of their stuff, the brass players can hear all of their stuff, the percussionists can hear all of their stuff. Matthew is going to hold up this bass guitar. So one key note down here in the orchestra pit is there are no amplifiers down here, so Matthew, play the bass. That's as much sound as this guitar will make at any given point down here in the orchestra pit. The only way the bass player can hear the bass is through her earphones. The same is true for our percussionists back here that are playing the timpani. It's just a rubber pad that makes the sounds of timpani, generated by the laptop, and the mallet station, which looks like a xylophone, but it's just a rubber pad. All the players down here have headphones and microphones, and you'll notice we've left a lot of the stage panel that orchestra pit covered to isolate the sound and volume of the orchestra so that we can still hear our singers and performers on stage. Much like a recording studio, we have this functioning to be isolated for sound control.
So this right here is our wireless rack. There's 28 total units in here, which is how we can communicate sound from here to our console out to the audience, and also for the players down in the pit to hear it through their in-ear monitors.
This amp rack here is powering two Yamaha trap cabs, 2 medium-sized GBLs, and also 2 18-inch subwoofers, which are in the 2 spot towers, giving us surround sound for this show.
This is the Catwalk. We have lighting and stuff up here, and this is where the spotlights are. If we go around the corner here. So what we do basically is, like, if someone's like too dark or something, or we like want to have the scene be dark, we can spot somebody who's down there. Like, you can spot Matthew there.
Hi, Sam.
Now he's brighter. See, he's dark, now he's bright. All you gotta do is press the button and just control where you want it. And that's about it.
For stage monitors, we're using 2 seismic audio line array cabs on both stage right and stage left, so that way the people on stage while they're singing can hear the pit playing and keep tempo to make sure that they don't go too fast or too slow.
Yep. So from up here, we're about 30 feet above the stage deck.
So up here on our second catwalk, we got the line sets that we need to counterbalance with the line sets that are down there, so that way it doesn't come crashing down. And to make that happen, we got two styles of bricks here. We got the 44-pound bricks, and then we got the lighter 22-pound bricks. And we need to make sure that the weight is even, so that way it doesn't come crashing up or come crashing down and potentially hurt or kill someone.
So, okay, so what's one unique thing about this show that you think most people wouldn't expect to know about?
That it's extremely hard to video when there's so much diverse dancing in the background and you have to get the main roles in, but you also have to get the background in because of the diverseness.
Okay.
So it's hard to jump around from camera to camera and get all the aspects of the show.
How many cameras do you have?
6!
That's a lot of cameras.
Yes.
What's the difficult part about managing the show in terms of technology?
I would say just the sheer amount of it and the time we've had to work with it. Because with obviously this winter has not been friendly, and there's a lot of tech. Well, when we did the matinee for the elementaries, I had 73 kids on the list to be excused early for the show. There are 46 cast members, so there are almost as many people behind the scenes as on the stage to make it work.